Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo. I hate this. I hate this entire experience, but I've had so many people over the years tell me how terrible my audio is, so we're going to give this a try. Um, I feel like I might have a conniption fit, so who knows how long this will be. Uh, I got the ick. Okay, so I have like a I was eating right before this, and I have like food that has decided that's not trying to go that way. Like gravity, work. Thank you. My glasses are all fucked up and sideways because these headphones, and I had like I had like an audio mixer when I used to do podcasts a little bit more regularly, but I kind of accidentally sold it, because I was just figuring out that, like, hey, maybe I could actually use that for my YouTube channel. I have a microphone, but I don't have anything to plug the microphone into. So, vis-a-vis, this is a situation that I'm dealing with now. So, I could potentially try to find like a converter for the like a jack for the microphone to my computer, but I have an older computer and shit happens and I don't want to buy anything else. Why is my voice doing this to me? This is this is my life now. What is happening? Am I dying? It's just watch me have this like huge existential crisis on camera. But it is very hot. The fact that I'm wearing a sweatshirt does not help. I do have a shirt on underneath this, but I love this hoodie so much, and I haven't really worn it much because of like summer things. But this is my Fall Out Boy hoodie. I got it from going to the Fall Out Boy show in March. I think I don't know. Um, and it's from their most recent tour. Um, it's their second round of So Much for Stardust. Um, and it was super fun. I always have a great time at their shows, so they turned it out. They did do, I think I talked about this show in one of my other lives, but they did do. They always do a bunch of pyrotechnics, which I'm into. Like, I don't care who's playing. Like, give me fire, and I'm like, yes, yeah, I love fire. Like, I'm a caveman, essentially. But, um, but doing this may help, may not help me remember things. But they also had like indoor fireworks explosion things, and they were so loud, and so I could see if you were in like an open space, like how maybe you wouldn't go absolutely deaf by listening. However, we were in an enclosed space, and we were not crazy close to the stage by any means. Like we were on like one of the lower levels of like the steps, and then there's the flat part, and there's the stage. Um, but like the floor seats and the stage, they didn't have a pit. But they might. I don't think they did. Maybe like not really a pit, just people who stood close to the stage. Wouldn't have classified that as a pit, but whatever. Um, and but we were like on like kind of like farthest end at the bottom of the steps, and oh my gosh, like it was so loud. Like the kids, like any kid that was in the audience was like, oh my god, like crying, screaming because it was so loud. Like Mel has migraines, and so she just was like migraining for a week after that. It was like it almost like made you go deaf. So um that could be a future note from them, because I've seen them many times and they always bring the pyrotechnics. The explosions, however, that was I think that was only this tour, and the amount of it was so many songs that they used them for, and I was like, holy shit, it's so loud. But yeah, so also, I love the symbol. I think I'm gonna get the symbol tattooed on me. Not only because I love Fall Out Boy and this album was good. It wasn't my favorite album that they did, but it was like it was good. It was a good album, but not my favorite album. I really liked the last album that they did, Mania. Um, the bassist has bipolar disorder, so I always have felt like a kinship to the band and their music because I felt like sometimes they really capture uh, the essence of bipolar, well. But this is even before Fall Out Boy did this. This smiley um, is kind of known for being kind of like a bipolar symbol with the happy and the sad. So it has a double meaning, and I really like it. So, and a smiley tattoo is pretty much as common as someone having mama on their arm. So it wouldn't be the most creative thing, but it's hot. I'm gonna leave it on for the sake of fashion, because you know me and fashion, hand in hand. I don't have the bottom part of my hook here. Let me go get that. I'm gonna really try. So again, let me know if you can let me know if you can hear me okay, if the audio is all right, if you like this more or less than my usual audio. I know my computer runs, it's loud. I have a computer fan underneath it that creates a little bit of noise but keeps my computer from overheating when I stream and stuff like that. Um, I know my audio is not great generally, so hopefully this helps a little bit. If it helps, not at, if it doesn't help at all, let me know and I will fucking light these motherfuckers on fire because I hate this experience. But we're gonna just really try to not big fat Greek wedding this, where I try to walk away and have a headset on and I'm just like jerk back and fall. Audio is fine. Naughty knitting sacks. That's a fucking name. I love that. I want to find more about why you picked that name because that's cool. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my hook. Ugh. Oh, I hate these. I feel like a pilot, except I'm like less drunk. um. So yeah, naughty knitting sacks. Please tell me more. I usually am like say less, but now I'm like say more. Please tell me about that name. It's pretty creative, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. But would love to know some history behind it. So I have the bottom of my Krogo hook. I hate the name. I hate the name Krogo. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Um, it just after having Krojo in my vocabulary for so long, I feel like Krogo feels like a pretty naughty naughty way to say things. So but anywho, oh, someone's got a squeaky, but maybe you can't hear. I don't know. I did like a little test uh, with my camera earlier, and I was like, I don't know. We make project bags with swear words and naughty body parts on them. Do you sell them? Do you sell your patterns? Um, Please let me know because I don't think you can share links, but if you tell me where to look, I can share links and I can also look them up for myself because I do appreciate anything that is inappropriate, naughty, weird, gag gifts, all of that stuff right up my alley. So I think you found the right place and I'm happy that you're here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm like afraid that y'all are gonna just have this like like I have this fear that you're gonna be able to just like um uh hear me do everything. And that is I don't think anyone would enjoy that. Uh okay, naughty knitting sacks. Okay, so there's a bunch of things that come up, but I imagine that your shop name is Naughty Knitting Sacks. Are you from Cumming, Georgia, or are you really from Cumming, Georgia, or did you just pick that because it was hilarious? Because that's awesome. Let's see, let's see. I'm seeing a lot of really cute bags. Oh, I see the Cumming, Georgia. Oh my gosh, the whatchamacallit? The decals. I kind of may need that rainbow dick. If I had $1 for every time I said that. Oh, the small cup Merkin naughty piece. Of course, of course. Is that you? Is this the right shop? You live in Cumming, Georgia? That is awesome. Okay, let me show you your store. Boo boo boo. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat for anyone who watches the replay or comes in. Um, Now, when I click the link, or when I send the link, it doesn't include the question mark, and I can't click on it on my end. But my link has to have the question mark, or it won't work for me. So, just for anyone who wants to check out Naughty Knitting Sacks, just keep that in mind that you need to have the question mark included in that URL. Hey, Mary, welcome in. How are you today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying out a headset because so many people have complained about my audio, and I was like, oh, yeah, I have this. This might help. I did just happen to sell a piece of equipment that might have helped me, but have a podcast on YouTube. Pretty sure I follow you on Instagram. What's your podcast on YouTube? Share your shit. If anyone has shit that they want to share, please be my guest. I would love to pimp you out. Nope, that's not what I wanted to say. I would love to help you pimp yourself out. Better? I don't know, but we're going with it. Honestly, I'm not good at Instagram. Is kind of something I always forget about. Only every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, I should post a thing or something that I actually remember, and then I'm decent at posting for 2 weeks and then I forget again. Just not really my main my go to. I don't know how people do so much social media. I'm not like dissing social media or saying that people shouldn't. I know I'm just saying that like I literally can't like keep track of it myself. Um, so this is like I'm gonna take my glasses off, let my eyes adjust. I don't have that bad a vision. It's just I'm I'm farsighted, so they're basically prescription reading glasses, except I have a really bad astigmatism in one eye, so I can see just fine without them. It just makes it a little bit less strain on my eyes. Uh, you know, to have them there, especially with that astigmatism. Uh, however, uh, they're not for these headphones, and these are really cheap headphones, or a really cheap headset um, that I got. So, but I hate it. It's like I I feel like I'm in like a tunnel trying to talk, and I don't like it. It makes me angry, like irrationally angry. But I'm gonna try to be chill. Look at me, so chill. Have you ever met someone this chill? Um, I'm trying to convince myself more than you. Uh, you may have noticed. Did I do a live yesterday? I think I did. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember really what happens day to day or any days period. Um, but I did change my jewelry in this region. Let me get all up in your face right now. I can't zoom, so I changed this. So I stretched this up from a 14 gauge to a 12 gauge. So a little bit thicker, and then I switched to a ring because I could not find. Go away! I hate you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, I'm fine. I'm cool. I'm so cool. Um, I just wanted like a bigger piece of jewelry, and I just don't feel like I got that. But then a lot of like 14 gauge like horseshoe rings are made for nipples, and so they're much wider, and I didn't want to put something that was like way too wide. So I went with the segment ring, and it's all right, but I want I wanted to pop a little bit more. So this is a little black, like jeweled star. Um, I also got a black little octopus. I got a silver one that I think I wore yesterday that has a green jewel in it. It's really big and it hangs pretty low on my it's like brushing right on my lip line. So like with like lipstick or even talking, it's always there. Um, And then on my lip, I have like a black just curved barbell that I usually wear, but I felt like with this being smaller than I expected, it was like the sizing of everything was a little bit smaller than I expected. Story of my life, right? That I wanted to add like a little bit more to my face. So this is actually a scorpion, but it sits kind of off of my lip a little bit. So the pincers do. So keep on smacking it. Sorry if it sounds terrible. Um, but it's just like a little weird getting used to. Things kind of like brush up against each other. Not the worst, not the best, but definitely probably the best looking combination of like all the things I could try that I have. So my big problem. Let me just sit back down, get cozy again with my pillow, my Volare pillow. Um, can't even itch my head. Headsets are stupid. Stupid. Is having bad audio worth this? I don't know. I can't quite decide. Zen. Okay, so the big problem with my Medusa piercing is that just because of the fact that I talk and whatnot, the top of the jewelry, I was going to make sure that it was properly screwed on. I constantly have to do that. And even then, the top of the jewelry falls off all the time. I think I've probably gone through, I want to say like 4 or 5 pieces of jewelry that like just the top fell off and I could not find them. How many times they've fallen off? Like probably like well into like the low hundreds. Um, because they like fall off all the time. Sometimes I can find the piece that fell off and sometimes I can't. So I have a lot of barbells are like the Libre bars, but I don't have a lot of the tops that would go on, and they're harder to replace unless you're just looking for like a ball or a spike. Um, so I keep buying new jewelry. So I buy like multiple at a time because they're going to get lost and I need to have something to put in when they get lost. So I most recently had my dagger in, the silver dagger. Some people thought it was a cross. It looks a lot like a cross, so I mean, it's not a super far stretch. But just so you know, I would not put a cross piercing in my upper lip. Um, but just talking, it turns around a lot and it kind of unscrews itself. Also, the piece inside the mouth, your mouth is slick, things move, whatever. Um, so yeah. Uh, So, yeah, this falls off a lot, so I always need to have, like, a backup plan just in case my dagger fell out, and even though I cleaned my living area really, really well before it fell out, and I know that it was in after I cleaned everything, I have not been able to find the dagger, and I haven't, like, vacuumed or anything, um, since because I'm like, I'm gonna find it in, like, a week, and I'm gonna be pissed off, but if I vacuum it up, then I won't find it, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's stretch our hands. By stretch our hands, I mean just crack your knuckles. But um, and then let's just get to work on the pride top that never ends. You know, I always say that pride never ends, and maybe I'm kind of eating my words now because this pride top will never end. I will be working on it till the day I die, and this is what the day that I finish it, it will be the day that I die, and I will wear this to my funeral because that's just how long it's taking. And I don't even know why it's taking so long because I've made mesh things before and they've gone a lot faster than this. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm doing the three in a row and I feel like it's faster, but it's maybe really not. So maybe the next row I'll just switch back to the I'll switch back to the just doing one row at a time and see if that helps me move a little bit faster through the rows. Who knows? Rose knows. So, what is everyone working on this evening or today or this morning? What are you working on? Um, Regardless of where you are. Um, I would love to know what everyone's working on. Also, so maybe Nightbot will show up. Sometimes Nightbot shows up and it's like everything all up in your face all the time. And then sometimes Nightbot decides not to show up because it's quite rude. So I don't really know what will happen. But there is a thing that I'm trying to do. We'll see if it has some traction. If anyone else decides to do it, I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll give it a little test run. So I'm doing this thing called Stitch of the Month, where I pick a stitch, and you can apply it. You can make whatever you want out of this stitch. And then at the end of the month, we'll share. You can come up. You can send me pictures. You can put them in the Facebook group, or you can not choose to not share. That's totally fine. This month's stitch is the extended single crochet. So I did a video showing how to do one if you have not done one before. It's a very versatile stitch and it's great. Oh, thank you. And I'm sorry you had, I mean, I'm not, it's okay that you can't stay. I hope you have a great weekend as well, Mary. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always great to see you. But yeah, if anyone wants to do the stitch of the month, it is the extended single crochet. You can do it however you want. Also with the stitch of the month, I understand in applying it to different patterns, you might have to do additional stitches. You might want to add some stitches. Knitting on a scrappy yellow to orange sock head hat. Hang on. Alright, there's Nightbot. We'll see if it throws up on you or not. Okay, scrappy yellow. Or are you saying crappy yellow? Orange to yellow to orange sock head hat. What is a sock head hat? I don't know. I'm having trouble understanding the words that you put on this screen. I'm sorry. Maybe it makes perfect sense and my brain's just like, we're just gonna power off right now. Very possible. So don't blame yourself if it is actually really obvious and I just don't understand. But yeah, I would like some clarification on that. Great that you're knitting. We love having knitters here with us because we like to see crafts of all shapes and sizes and forms, fiber arts, no fiber arts. Everyone's welcome, even if people don't do crafts. Maybe you just like to hang out and talk. That's cool too. Uh, Believe it or not, I do enjoy not crafting sometimes. Um, so, yeah, we like to see a little bit of everything here, and that we do. Um, so I was gonna start with, so has anyone seen any good movies lately? But that's such a, you know, cliche question, but I wanted to use it as an intro to say that I watched a new movie today. So the new not Godzilla versus, but Godzilla X Kong movie, The New Empire, came out on HBO Max, and I watched that. I've got some opinions. Now, let it be known that if it has to do with Godzilla, I will likely watch it. King Kong, I'm not as like, I don't really watch a lot of the King Kong. Sockhead is a pattern using sock yarn. I have lots of scraps. Okay, okay, cool. Okay, see, that's okay. There we go. Ooh, nice. I love that. Yeah, I'm not, I can knit. I can do, like, basic knitting, but, pretty much anything like, the learning curve on getting, like, good at knitting is pretty intense for me, and then, also, I'm a slow crocheter, but I am a very, very, very slow knitter. It takes so long for me to knit something. I think I've only ever finished, like, 2 or 3 knitting projects in my whole life. I was thinking about it the other night because I told someone I'd only done finished one, but then I remembered that I had made, like, a cat toy or something, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot to include that." So, I feel like I have a cat hair, speaking of, in my nose. But if you see me, like, scratching my nose, it's because I'm still getting used to the not having the horseshoe, because the horseshoe, like, sometimes horseshoes will turn on you because 'cause they're horseshoes, and, they don't have, like, a stable resting point, so they'll kind of curve left to right or whatever. There's a Stitch of the Month video, if you're interested. Um, and, so I'm used to, like, every once in a while, like, going with my fingers and, like, straightening the horseshoe, but now that it's a continuous ring, I don't have to do that. But does that stop me from trying to do it? No. So it just looks like I'm just like, "What's up, guys? What's up?" Which is a really cute look. I know. I try. Ugh, my hand is like, "Get fucked." I think it's because I was doing so much with the knitting machine yesterday. It must have been yesterday. Um, the knitting machine, not because the knitting machine was particularly hard on my hands, but doing a lot of the hand sewing, and, like, crochet embellishments and stuff around the scrubby yarn that I decided to use was really challenging because the yarn was pretty stiff. I used the yarn Stitch Soak Scrub. I don't think there's an and in there, from Lion Brand, and it's they call it a chainette style, uh, scrubby yarn, and it didn't when I crocheted with it before a little bit, it didn't feel like it was awful to crochet with and got rid of a lot of that, like, tension, a scrubby yarn burn that you would get from your finger. Hey, Lydia. So I didn't feel like it would be difficult, but I couldn't crochet with it because anytime I brought it out, my cat would, like, flip his shit and try to eat it. So I had to hide it, and I have had it in, like, my bathroom, like, towel closet thing for over a year, like, since it came out, and I was like, "I should just make something," and then, I watch Altnauts videos, and they were talking about using scrubby yarn on their knitting machine, and I was like, "Why did I never think about trying to see if this did that?" It turns out it's not great yarn for a knitting machine because of, uh, like, um, how thin like, threads of the chainette are, and, how stiff the yarn is. The stiffness of the yarn really makes a big difference, with knitting machines. So, it worked, but I won't be buying it again, for multiple reasons. So, if you like the yarn, that's absolutely great. If you don't like the yarn, that's cool too, but just kinda wanted to share my experience with that. But for some reason, my hand hurts a lot, and I, um I think it's because of well, partly. Sorry, did I burp and you guys could hear that? Oh, fuck, I hate having something right here. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I don't like this. I don't like this. I For people who are just coming in, I'm not doing this because this was a great choice on my part. But I've had a lot of people say that my audio is trash garbage, and they are not wrong, but it's not that bad either. So it's like, okay, well, let me see what I have that might help. I happened to accidentally just sell an audio mixer that I had. I believe that it didn't work for my HP when I had my old HP. It just worked for my friend's Mac. Um, and I don't have a Mac now, and never will probably. Um, and uh, so it might have not worked anyways, but I accidentally sold it before I realized that I might have been able to use it. So I have a mic, like a podcasting mic, but I don't have any plugging in materials for it. So that kind of sucks, but it happens. It happens. We live and we learn, right? Or we live and we are constantly forgetting and relearning and forgetting some more. It happens. So yeah, still working on that pride top. It is slow going, and I don't know why it's so slow going. It's just mesh. Oh my gosh. Such a drama queen, this one. But I'm just moving along slowly but surely. Something that also slows me down a bit with this yarn. So this is the Bernat Softy Cotton. It is not the Bernat Softy Baby. It is not the Bernat Softy Baby Cotton. I don't know why they gave all of them names that were so similar that it was impossible to figure out what the hell you were buying and what you actually needed. The Softy Baby is one of my least favorite yarns to have ever existed. It splits when you look at it, and it is a nightmare to work with. The Softy Cotton actually is really fun to work with. It's nice. It's a cotton acrylic blend. Um, it's 60 cotton, 40 acrylic. You get 4.2 ounces or 120 grams or 250 yards, so 254 yards. Got to remember that for. And I bought it because I bought this pattern from Dana of Creatively Created Crochet. A while back, and she used this yarn, and I was like, okay, I'm getting it. And then I hadn't used it, so I decided to use it. But because it's got so much cotton in it, it does have a tendency to split. So I'm using a more tapered hook than I normally would, which does slow me down quite a bit. But at least um, it could be worse. What are you working on, Lydia? I hate this. I hate this so much. Can we see the project? So right now it just looks like this. It's just this is the back panel. And also like ugh, I hate this, but like so the front looks huge. I'm not a tiny person. I'm a very curvy person and I'm not tiny in other places as well. But please don't someone thought this was a blanket and I thought it was just gonna jump off a cliff. But this is a filet crochet that I did color work on. It was my first time doing filet crochet and also my first time doing color work. So it was I bought this pattern off of Etsy. It's the Etsy seller is MFTI and they did not do color work. So I don't know why I was like, when I originally started it, I was gonna wear it at Pride in June, and I originally started it with hand dyed rainbow cotton that was variegated. And thank you very much, I appreciate that. And it was impossible to see the shape of the skull. So I was like, okay, back to drawing board. Now I was gonna wear my binder underneath it. My binder is basically like a black tank top, so I couldn't do a solid black. Um, I couldn't do a solid black top because then you would not be able to see the skull work either. So I was like, well, um, what if I used my ice cream cake batter yarn, which is the trans colors, and then I put that on the shirt. So that's where we're at right now. And then I'm just doing the back panel right now. And it's just like I don't work on it all the time. In fact, most of the time I just work on it when I'm like streaming now because I'm in the summer of whips. I think it's down here for you. Depends on where you're watching this from. And I'm tackling a lot of whips and like things that I've just abandoned because I I found something new and shiny to do. ADHD do be like that sometimes. Uh, so and then once I realized I wasn't going to Pride, I stopped working on this, and so um, it's just moving pretty slow. So some rips. I fucking made the name, and I can't even think of it. But yeah, so I went down. I went from like and it's hard to tell exactly how many whips I had because I would knock one off and then I would realize like, oh, I've got these two that I didn't even put on there. Um, so I think probably total I had probably like close to 35 whips, like just in like the yarn space, which is a lot. I know people who are like, "I can't have whips," like, I mean, like or they're like, "I'm working on one project and I won't start another project unless that's done." That is not me. I know some people who have, like, whip maximums where they'll have, like, 10 things and that's it. But, like, again, not me. I was cleaning up my yarn room and there were so many projects that I just, like, hadn't finished. And, so I decided, you know what, this summer I'm really gonna tackle like getting a lot of this stuff done. And I would say about 5 of them or maybe a little bit more were knitting. And I was like, I'm just not passionate about this, so I'm not gonna do it. See, Nightbot just came in and threw up all over the place. But the middle one I do want to point out. So I am not monetized. I will likely never be monetized. I don't make any money off of YouTube, and I'm disabled and can't work. If you want to donate to this channel, if you want me to be able to get a headset that doesn't make me want to rip my fucking ears off, or you want me to get better audio equipment, or you, like, for whatever reason, would like to donate to this channel, you're welcome to. You're not obligated to. It's cool. I just put that out there as a thing, just to let people know. Um, so yeah, always there if you want, never a requirement. and I definitely don't want to like guilt people into that's yeah, that's not my thing. Not saying that I know yeah, I just wanted to make it clear that that's not what my intention was in pointing out that thing. I guess I just have never really addressed it when it came up. I was just like, "Oh yeah, it says donate. You can donate if you want." But I just wanted to be clear that I don't actually make any money off of YouTube. If you want me to make any money off of YouTube, you've got to spend it out of your own pocket. Unfortunately, I wish there was a better way. I mean, there probably would be if I could stop being a dirty mouth piece of shit. But oh wait, I just I so here's my thing. So when started, I've been doing YouTube videos a long time, but when I started up with my crochet and like crafting, I was like all the people I was following on YouTube, everyone was very wholesome, and that's great, and they're still great, and I still watch them. They're fine. They're great people. No complaints about them as people, and they didn't make me censor myself at all. But everyone was talking about monetization and the limits around monetization, things like that. And uh, I think just because I talk about a little bit of everything, as long as it's not like totally against the community standards or whatever, um, because of that, there's no chance of me getting monetized. It's just not gonna happen. So because of that, I could be different, but I took a really long break from YouTube a couple years ago, and I was probably at like 830 or something subscribers, and I took a long break because I was having really bad depression. And so, like, I'm struggling to get through the day. So, YouTube's the last thing on my mind. I was away from YouTube for about a year and a half. And then I came back, and it was so hard. All the people that I had, like, made friendships with, just like, I wasn't showing up on the YouTube algorithm anymore. I wasn't showing up in their notifications anymore. The YouTube notification system and the algorithm, everything had changed so much since I had left that, like, a lot of the people that were watching me like routinely weren't there anymore. So I had to like rebuild that all. And then the monetization changes were different too, because it used to just be like a subscriber account thing, I think, and then it was different. But when I came back, long story short, when I came back, I was like, I'm not a wholesome pinch your cheeks, "Oh, isn't that cute?" type of person. That's just not who I am. Like, I cuss like a sailor. I talk about whatever I wanna talk about, and, it's fine when people aren't like that, but I am, and I like that about myself. For me, it's, a way of expressing myself, unfiltered. So I came and I just, came back and I just was more myself than I was before, and YouTube doesn't like that for me. So, that's why I always say I will never be monetized because I'm not I don't meet the monetization standards, and that's okay, but don't think that's me, I could change if I wanted to, but I find that my most authentic YouTube self is just being a super crass, nasty bitch, and I hope that you're here because you like like, I was I was watching this live, and they weren't talking about me. It was definitely not talking about me, but they were talking about someone, and they're like, "Oh, I think they were talking about, like, a musician, and they're like, "Oh, this person they use so many cuss words in their music, and I hate when people use a lot of cuss words in their music," and I'm just like, "Don't come to my channel. You're gonna have a bad time." Hi, Nifty. Now we are besties. Yay. Snaps for besties. How you doing, Nifty? Mm-mm-mm. See, I split this yarn, so I gotta make sure. There we go. Mm. I'm still working on the same pride top that I will forever be working on. It's never gonna be finished. I'm never gonna it's never gonna be done. I have this headset on because a lot of people, have talked about the audio in my videos, so I'm giving it a try to try to be accommodating. Aren't I an accommodating host? Um, but I recorded, like, a little, I just tried with my, like, the camera on my computer, and tried that. Seems like it works. Haven't had any complaints about the audio yet, but I hate this. I'm like a very sensory person, and I feel like someone's simultaneously squishing my head while tickling parts of my head. And like it's just horrible. Also, I feel like I'm in a tunnel, and just like I hate not having my ears open, apparently, even though I wear earbuds half the time I'm on this anyways. So I don't know why it's bothering me so much, but I'm really unhappy. But I'm trying not to be a crabby bitch tonight as much. Okay, I'm doing good. Remember that blanket, the pink open oyster stitch? Well, I'm on skein 10 of 11. Ooh, you're getting close. That's nice. And that is such a beautiful stitch, too. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for you to be done with that. I'm sure you can't wait to be done with that either. Ugh, blankets are anyone who makes blankets, round of applause. I'm gonna clap near my microphone like an idiot seal. Not that seals are idiots. I'm an idiot. I'm also a seal. So like, cause you can't hear it if I'm like out here, right? I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. Um, but claps to anyone who can not the clap, but claps and snaps and applause for anyone who can make a blanket because blankets make me miserable. Large projects, uh, large projects are just not my forte. With my inability to move fast or stay constant, my concentration stay the same on a project for a while. So I am always very, I wouldn't say envious, but I am amazed at people who can do it. Is that a good way to say it? Like, I'm always impressed when people have the attention span to complete a big project like a blanket, a huge shawl, things like that. Again, I talked about it earlier, but if you want to learn the stitch of the month, a lot of us know it, some of us might not. It's a relatively easy stitch. I would say it's very beginner friendly. It's extended single crochet. I teach you how to do it in the video. And then I also throw out some project ideas. You can use whatever you want. You can make whatever you want using the extended single crochet. If you want to participate, you don't have to. If you have too many whips, you don't have to add to it by adding another one just for this. But if you wanted to do it, you are welcome to. It's a really fun stitch. I think it is just a beautiful stitch. It's very easy and very adaptable to a bunch of different projects. Um, so, uh, so as long as it's the stitch of focus in your project, like maybe you have to do some decreases or maybe you want to add a little bit of texture somewhere, but you want to add like to as long as it's the featured stitch of your project, I think that is good enough. I mean, there are really no rules, so you could have just done one row in a like fucking hat and been like, "Yep, that's it." But like whatever you want. But I thought it would be fun if we focused on because we always talk about like combinations of stitches and then patterns, the combinations of stitches that we see that are so beautiful together and all that stuff. And I thought that having some stitch education, but also inspiring us to be like, oh well, I love this hat, or I love tapestry. Like heads up, like for me, like one of the projects I want to do is do a tapestry using extended single crochet. And I am doing that because I was inspired by Kelly of Kelly's Crochet Adventures, who's doing a tapestry right now of Sonic the Hedgehog, and she's doing extended single crochet, and it looks beautiful. It looks amazing, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So, so I thought that I would give it a try to do a tapestry, my first tapestry, with that same stitch. It's fairly small, but I also plan on I'm hoping to do a couple projects with the same stitch so that we can have some variety and you can see how I used it, and hopefully you can show me how you used it, and we can see how each other everybody uses it. Yep, that's it. Sorry, words are really getting hard for me, and I think part of hold on a second. Y'all, if I could have had like an orgasm on camera right now, that would have been what my O face would have looked like, because that was euphoric. Okay, so what I've discovered after taking my headphones off, this headset hurts my ears a ton. Especially when I take them off, I realize how much my ears hurt. The second thing is, with my ADHD, if let's say you were trying to give a very important speech and someone was like jabbing you in the ribs the entire time, like it would be hard to give that speech. Well, that's kind of how it feels when I'm trying to talk, but there's like pressure in my head and things tickling because the headset's kind of like tickling around my head, and I can't like touch things, and I don't want to like touch my mic. It's really challenging for me to talk and get my point across. So I'm gonna finish this row. I'm gonna take this headset off, and unless the audio is just so much better I can't ignore it, then I'm just gonna set these aside because I really hate this. Oh, actually, could I a sensory person? Okay. Do you mind if I ask if you're neurodivergent or if you're just a sensory person? Because my ADHD, I just not. So I wanted to ask you all your opinion because I really wanted to make something. I might add it to my whips. I'm not quite sure yet. So I know some people like to talk about Summerween, which is celebrating Halloween in the summer, basically. If you watch the show, the animated show, Gravity Falls, which is it's so good. It's on Disney Plus. It's great for the whole family. It's honestly one of the funniest shows I've seen. It makes me laugh every time I watch it through. There's 2 seasons, so good. But one of the episodes they do Summerween where they celebrate, like they have like Summerween traditions. It's basically an adaptation of the holiday, right? Um, Great show, highly recommend. Also, I probably will do some. I think I'm going to do a Swamp Witch decor season for Halloween, and then I'm also going to do a Gravity Falls decor because Mel and I have talked about doing the main characters, Dipper and Mabel, for so long that I want to just do it. I just want to do it. I just want to be Dipper and Mabel. So I wanted to have some really fun things. Learning that I'm neurodivergent and ADHD, I had some definite kinks. And I got kinks too, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. That is what I call them. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing to know that you have felt this way, and you've always felt, I don't know about you, but for me, like it's like I always felt different. I couldn't quite put words to it. When people would talk about ADHD, I didn't identify with all those things, but there is so much more into ADHD than just not being able to focus, right? It's like being a sensory person. Like I didn't realize that like when like loud noises are all coming at me and I get really overwhelmed and I like have like a fit, like I didn't realize that could be part of ADHD, and it made a lot of sense. So This is, so I have 3 skeins of this. You know that I am a big believer in buying 3 skeins when I don't know what I'm making. So this is Big Twist Value. This is in the color Mistletoe Stripe. I got it because it's a bunch of different shades of green. Of course I fucking bought it. I mean, like, I don't really care for Christmas yarn, but you give me a bunch of greens, I'm gonna take it. Um, so this is the show. This is the color mistletoe stripe, and so I wanted to make a watermelon because for Summerween they carve watermelons instead of pumpkins into like jack-o'-lanterns, and they put a candle inside the watermelon. So I thought it would be really cute to make a watermelon out of this watermelon stripe. I thought of a few ways I could make it, but I'm and not quite sure. I know, isn't it so pretty? I was addicted. Immediately when I saw it, I was like, "I must have you." And then there was, like, the red and green yarn, and I was like, "Get away! Go away!" No, no. Not that I, like I hate red and green yarn. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, no problem. But f so for my ideas, at first I was like, "Well, I could put it in a Centro." It'd be pretty easy to make, like, a watermelon-shaped, um, thing in a knitting machine, right? In, like, a 48 pin, you make a big old tube, you cinch up the ends, you do the thing, you double it up, whatever, whatever, whatever. But if I did that, then the stripes would be, so, like, let's say this is your watermelon, the stripes would be like this, which is not how striping works on a watermelon. It works like this. So I was like, well, um, what if I did a panel and I could just make like a rectangular panel, but I don't think I can make it wide enough. And then I was like, well, I could crochet. And then I kind of wanted a stitch that would look a little bit more organic and less stripy. So maybe something with a bit of a zig and a zag, if you know what I mean. Where's my fucking book? Hello? Is my book over there? Yeah, it's over there. 1 second. Also, just a heads up, you never need to apologize for having to leave. You're allowed to have a life. It's just a heads up. You're you're welcome to come and go as you please. It's open door policy. So I do have this crochet stitch dictionary. So let me see if there are any stitches that I'm like, yes. I know that there's like a ripple. Um, ooh, this eyelash stitch looks pretty cool. Let's see what you are. This looks kind of, I don't know, but it's too uniform. At first, I was thinking like that is kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't think so. And then I would have to do some like decreases on the side because even if I do cinch it, you're just gonna get like a big puckered butthole. of when I talk about buttholes regarding crochet pieces, you all know what I'm talking about, right? When you cinch a bunch of stitches together and just you cinch them together and you're like, okay, well, looks like a butt. Sorry about it. I can't unsee it, and now you can't either. Um, okay, so here's one that might be nice. Sorry, I'm just looking at a bunch. Okay, that's nice too. Let's just go to this whole section. And so I have a couple other I have a couple other books that I'm thinking about um getting, but because I do like having stitch books because it just lets me be creative with um uh like making projects. Okay. So the first one is a long wave. So that would be nice for some, like, watermelon stripes. I just like it to look, like, more organic. I'm sorry, Lydia. I know your knee's in a lot of pain. I hope you're taking good care of it and you're healing if you can or getting, the help that you need. So this is a long wave. The only thing is that I feel like if I did this all throughout if I did this pattern, well, actually, I'm using the same yarn. I'm not even changing the yarn colors. So maybe just having the yarn colors change could create that's an idea because I'm using striped yarn. Um, uh, that it would just change by itself, and then it would kind of look a little organic. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Also, I could just look up to see if someone else has made a watermelon. Probably the easiest thing of all. But if it's easy, then why would I do it? Okay, let's look at some ones that don't have color changes and see if we can find anything we like. We want it to be fairly solid in its fabric nature. Um, it's so itchy. It's just like, yeah, I don't know if this book's gonna give it to me like I want it to. But if you can think of how I think the wave one might be the long wave might be the best. Um, I'm sorry you're in pain. Yeah, Lydia. Um, I'm about to go to sleep. Oh, I hope you get some good rest, Lydia. That's important. Um, I could just do like I think the long wave is a nice look, and as the color changes or organically, I think it could produce some cool looking watermelon stripes. It'd be nice if like they varied in like width. Let me look at the instructions because I could see if I could change the stitch height of some of them, like tool up some, tool down others, just to see. So let's see. So, 3 different heights of stitches in one row. Okay. So this one uses a half double crochet, treble. Okay, so I think this would be easy to modify up or down and just kind of have it be wavy. And then hopefully as you get to the end, you kind of match that that first wave that you did so that you can loop it around. But then you're going to have so much on the sides that it's going to cinch up really weird. I even thought about like, well, what if I did a flat circle, or like a circle on the side, and then I made the watermelon body separately so that the striping works. But even making the even making the edges of the watermelon, it wouldn't stripe right. And I was like, that's gonna bother me. It might not bother anyone else, but it's gonna bother me. Um, Here's the wave and chevron. That could be cool. And maybe I could use another color green, like a solid. I'm sure one of these colors I can match. I gotta match the lightest one, which I don't think I have that particular lightness. I have a lot of green yarn. A fuck ton of green yarn. I've got to have some Kelly green that's light enough for that, but it's close. But anywho, I think I have a Kelly green that's the pillow that I use for Army of Weirdos is a Kelly green from Caron 1 Pound, and I still have some of that I always forget that I have. So that might be a good one. And then the lighter green here could be the highlight, like the lighter parts of it. That could work. Okay, but there's some, before I leave, there are some Amazon books that I am thinking about. So maybe my screen might get a little funky because I'm looking at something else. So it happens. So I saw this, and this is really freaking exciting looking to me. Um, it's called The Hooktionary, and it is a crochet dictionary of 150 modern tapestry crochet motifs. Now, I heard about this because I was in a yarn group, and someone was talking about they were doing their first tapestry, which I'm doing my first tapestry. So I really was like, my ears were like, hello. You can't see them because they're underneath these stupid fucking headphones. But they were talking about color changes and advice. If you do want to see the book, make sure you copy that question mark. Otherwise, it won't work. Probably it doesn't work for me when it doesn't. Whatever. Um, so, and someone said that they really recommended this book because the color changes they said truly look as good as they are shown um, uh, uh, in the thing. Um, like the y'all know what I'm saying, right? Like they said the color changes, they show you a way to color change that like looks as good um as sorry, I'm trying to find these books. Who knows how many books? I have so many freaking books in my save for later. Okay, so now so they said that book was really good for color changes and tapestries. This book is called Crochet You. This was recommended by Cami, the Yarny Horseman. This one is a doll making book, but it also has a lot of doll accessories, including like service pets, hearing aids, like all kinds of like wheelchairs, all kinds of things. They also have like a vitiligo section, vitiligo being that skin condition where you lose pigment in parts of your skin and spots. I have vitiligo myself, so that was what immediately drew me. But it was really cool. You know, it's just about making books that are, making books, making dolls to look like or to represent uh, whoever you're making the doll for really accurately. So this is what is this called? Baby Beast to Crochet. I'm just going to share all of these. Again, if you want to donate to the channel, you can donate to the channel through what Nightbot just dropped, and I can buy these books, or I could put these on an Amazon wish list if you prefer that way. It's totally up to you. I mean, you don't have to give me any money or anything, but if you wanted to, there are options. I've wanted this magazine for a long time. It's not on the highest. It's not the highest on my uh, but it has some cute stuff in it, and it's Halloweeny. So that is a little Halloween style book. This is creepy crawly crochet. Got some cool looking things in here. I'm just dropping all these links on you. But these are all on my save for later because I think they all look really cool. Sorry about it. Okay, let's see. Oh, hold on one second. My ears. Oh, okay. So this next one, I could probably get, but I don't know if I would be good enough to ever have one turn out, but it would be cool to try. This is the Connect the Shapes crochet motifs. Creative techniques for joining motifs of all shapes includes 101 new motif designs. Connect the shapes, crochet motifs, book. I can't do anything without just like being super active, which I know it shakes my rickety ass table, but don't ask me why I have so many different versions of shower shots in my in my Amazon cart. Another is probably so. This is a Granny Square book, but and I don't really like Granny Squares, but these actually are really exciting to me. No, if you like Granny Squares, that's cool. You do you. Um, but these actually really intrigue me. Um, so I put it in my favorite later. Do, 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 do. I mean, and just like on the cover is just like, oh my god, they're so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Stop, you're gorgeous. Boo. I think I have like over 1,000 items because I just like there's literally so many things. It's kind of crazy how many I have. Okay, so I have the Tunisian crochet handbook, but I'm not going to put that up yet. We all know about it, I think. It was written by Tony Lipsy of TL Yarn Crafts. She's amazing, queen of Tunisian crochet. She's a queen all on her own. But Tunisian crochet is something I'm really scared to try because my wrist problems are so annoying that I just don't know if Tunisian crochet is there's a way that I can make it work for my body. Let's say it like that. So I want to try it before dedicating money to a book. I got a lot of shit here. Seriously, so much shit. And then I get on those like best BuzzFeed, like best blah blah blah, whatever. Oh my gosh, have I really been? No, that's something different. But I've been looking into leatherworking for a long time, which I knew I had, but it's kind of surprising to see how far back it goes. Let's go ahead and delete that. Oh, they have those little mini mics. Oh, those are cool. I'm going to move that to my cart because that would be way better than this little moment. I don't think I'll be the person holding it ever because I find that really cringy personally, but you know, it's just not for me. That's all it means. Ooh, the ethical slut. What is that about? I think I've heard a lot of people talking about that, but I've never read a description of it, so I don't know what it is. Um, let me look it up. What is this? The Ethical Slut, a practical guide to polyamory, open relationships, and other freedoms in sex and love. Doesn't sound like it's for me. Okay, cool. Just heard about the book. um, I'm just looking through my Amazon cart. I have so much shit in here. So much. It's ridiculous. Uh, let's see. Okay, so those are probably the main ones. If anything else, they've been on here for quite a while. So, um, yeah, I don't, I don't know. Anyways, so those are some books that I'm interested in. Let me know if you are also interested in any of those books, or if you've tried those books and you really like them. There is the Crochet Creatures one, or it's the one that has the unicorn. No, it has a dragon on the front. Winter has it. They really like it, but it doesn't look like my kind of book. I don't really want the Crochet Impkins book. It's just not calling to me. I have the which one is it? I have the Crochet Cryptids book, and that's pretty cute. Um, but yeah, I don't the Impkins book and the other one don't really. They're not calling my name like the rest of them. So those are just some books that I've kind of bookmarked along the way. And if you've read them or you want to try them, want to give them a look, feel free. Like I said, with that link, you might want to include the question mark with the URL so it'll actually work. But if you've tried any of these books, let me know, because I always have them in my save for later Amazon cart, which has 1,000,007 products in it. Okay, well, I'm going to let you go. I'll talk to you later, and I'm going to go through these in a